Hello guys, and welcome to another ProfileTree video. So today we're going to go through the Wix website examples. This video is purely just to show you the e-commerce side of Wix and the non-e-commerce side, or just the regular website of Wix. And so I've just created this PowerPoint just to go through the guide of it all, and then we'll be hopping on to Wix later on in the video just to show you the different templates and the different sites that we've created, and I'll just be explaining them through. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So first slide here is what is an e-commerce site. So it's pretty simple. It's just a platform to facilitate for commercial business, and so this just means an involvement of online transfer, so like online transactions with bank information or PayPal information or any other source of money transfer. So that's what an e-commerce site would be, and there's a couple of stores there that I've listed which would go more towards the retail stores. You've got music sites and auction sites. Auction sites could be anything to do with, car auction or like a vintage wear auction, things like that. And then you have financial management sites, and these would mainly be towards solicitors or anything to do if you're having like a mortgage, things like that. So that's what these e-commerce sites are here to suit for. So you already know a couple of ones there, which are the obvious, and these are some of the retail stores or online retail stores. And as you can see, I've listed one there for Amazon. There's eBay. There's even Spotify. Of course, you have iTunes as well. So the list goes on pretty much for all the e-commerce sites. There are a fair few of them listed. So moving on. So this one is just e-commerce site versus the regular site or a non-e-commerce site. So as I've said there isn't really a website that classifies as a regular website, purely for the fact that each website will serve its own purpose. An e-commerce site, for the meantime, it is similar towards other e-commerce sites, but it serves a different purpose. So as I'm meaning there from the first slide, as we've seen, they all are selling a product or a digital product, but they all sell different items. So that's what I'm meaning with the e-commerce site being not the same, but same at the same time. Hopefully that makes sense. I've also stated there that regular websites would tend to be more of a website that doesn't sell anything. So of course, website wouldn't be asking for user information or anything to do with payment transactions, things like that. Of course, it can be different. As I did state there that all regular websites will serve its own purpose. So meaning that if you have a blog site, usually you would create a login for it, especially if the visitor is a constant user for that website and wants to read the blogs that you create. Certainly you can have a members login page, things like that for your Wix. So hopefully that explains the differences between an e-commerce site and a non-e-commerce site. So I've stated that there are different type of e-commerce sites. So these would be to do with physical products, as you can see there, within clothing, footwear, electronic devices, gadgets, appliances, anything like that. So if you're in the UK, you've got Curry's, and then, or Curry's PC World if that's still about, and then if you'd be in the States, it'll be Best Buy, so something like that, something to do with the online store. And of course you've got like Adidas and the likes of New Balance, like other like clothing brands and footwear brands, and Apple devices for gadgets or appliances, and then of course appliances you've got there. And I've stated that this is something that you'll receive once purchasing. So as you can see, that's the different sort of e-commerce site there. You also have a digital product serving website, which is also an e-commerce site. So that's more to do with so Spotify I know it's not where you're paying for an individual song, but more the fact that you're paying for a subscription. So it's still an e-commerce site. Of course, it is different from iTunes. I know with iTunes that you can pay for individual songs. So it's the same with the ebooks as well, or anything images to do with images, or if you're looking more towards the intellectual sort of side with textual content, like digital copies of books, that's another place for digital products as well, while being an e-commerce site. Okay, so moving on. So lastly, we have here the different types of regular websites. So what I mean by that is you've got sites like blogs, portfolios, and even property advertising websites like, there's ones for UPS or ones we have here, you see, which is like Northern Property. So these are like real estate agents. I know it can be a bit misleading. You would think that it's a e-commerce site, but it would be a non-e-commerce site, as you would want to be talking. It's more of a advertising platform, and it can even occur for dealerships as well. So if you notice that some of these sites look like they're e-commerce websites, but there's no purchase button for the actual advertising website itself, they would more mainly be if it's a special order. You would be using, if it's Tesla or Ford or Volkswagen, Audi, that they would have an area where you would purchase your car, and even at that, you would have to go into the dealership itself. So those are like advertising websites, if that makes sense. So hopefully that sort of cuts down the difference in the regular websites or non-e-commerce websites and the e-commerce websites. So now that we've discussed that, we're going to go ahead and move on to the Wix, and I'm going to show you a couple of the websites we've built and some of the templates that the Wix website shows. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, so we're now in the ProfileTree Wix account here, and these are some of the the sites that are listed. As you can see, we've got a couple of clients that we work with. So what I want to show you are some of the websites that you can produce through Wix using an e-commerce website. So starting off, I'm going to go ahead and create a new site just to show you guys. And so this will be the first thing that it'll ask you when creating your website. So you can either choose the platform Wix or you can choose the platform Editor X. So that's dependent on you, on what you want to choose. But my recommendation, if you're starting off with Wix, especially if it's your first time to build a site with them, it would be Wix rather than Editor X. I'll later show you that, and I'll show you the reasoning to it. So if you just go ahead and click on the Wix, and this is the next thing that you'll be asked. So it'll ask you what kind of website you're creating. As you can see, there's an e-commerce one, non-e-commerce, potentially non-e-commerce, and technology company, non-e-commerce / e-commerce. The reason why I say that is a technology company like Apple per se, you're able to purchase some electronics off them, or within another technology company, more of the industry side, of course, you would have to have a quotation, or where you would leave your information with them and they would contact you back. So something like that, where it would be more of a physical one-to-one business than an online business. So that would what technology company be. But for the purpose of the video, I'm going to show you the e-commerce side first. So we're going to go ahead and click on online store. So, but if it depending on what you're building. So say if we wanted to build a sort of like a pharmaceutical like business. So say there's one there for like a chemical supplier or a chemist shop, as you can see. there's a pharmaceutical manufacturer or pharmacy. So there's one there. As you can see, there's a pharmacy. So say we're building a website for a pharmacy. So this could be like where you would buy your beauty products. So unfortunately, I can't think of a name for a website right now, but we're going to go ahead and stick with this. So this is where you would type the name of the business, of course. So this is what you could say. So it'll ask you what you want to add to your website. So this mainly applies to the Wix marketplace. So these are add-ons that you can put in, and I'll show you that once we're into the website. So you can create like an online store, or you could choose to skip this. It's just dependent on what you want to do. So we'll go ahead and click next. So as you can see here, it'll say create any website with Wix Editor. So more ways to create our Editor X. So it'll ask you that again, or the Wix ADI. So when you're planning to build your website here for your e-commerce site, preferably I would pick the Wix Editor. Mainly the Wix ADI is a little bit too basic for my liking, but you can modify it. Or the Wix Editor. So I'll go ahead and show you the Wix Editor X first, and then I'll show you the ADI, and then I'll go into the Wix Editor. Just to show you what are the different e-commerce or non-e-commerce websites you can build. So this is the more complex platform to use. Ideally, it is a great platform to use, Editor X, but it can prove to be a little bit tricky at times. So you could choose a blank template, or you can choose one of the ones that they've got produced. So say that we are looking to create a website. So we'll just scrap the pharmaceutical side of things. So say we want to produce an online store. If I can find one. So we'll go for the fintech company. We'll just say it's a technological company. I'm going to go ahead and view that just so you guys can see. And there's 3 different optimization points as well, where you've got desktop, you've got the tablet, and you've got the mobile phone. And as you can see, we've got a light box that popped up there. So off the bat, it is a very fluid designed website, so that I can give that. And you can see how the animation is with the mobile device there. So there's a lot more that you can create with this cryptocurrency website by the looks of it, as you can see, and how that works as well. How it pushes down and almost acts like a page. So the hard thing about this website is it requires a lot of interaction, and it has a lot of effort pretty much that's put into the site. So kudos to Wix for creating such a beautiful website for just a template. And we'll actually just show you what it looks like on the tablet. Not so much different, just a shorter version of the tablet to this, as it's not a big jump from the PX there. But when we move onto the mobile device, you can see where it starts to get a little bit shorter, but it still maintains that same pace. And they've got the light box as well. And as you notice here, it doesn't act like a book. It just stays still. Okay, so hopefully that explains the advanced or more complex version of what Editor X looks like. So now that we've seen that, I'm going to go ahead and show you the artificial design intelligence one if you want to build your website for this. So while this loads, this one is going to ask you a couple of questions. So here we are. It'll say to review and edit your information. And since it is a beauty product sort of website, you've got to have your logo there, the name of your website, your email and address for the site, and of course the business number. And if you have any social media accounts, of course add them in. You can choose to skip this step, and come back to this later on in the process, you won't be reaching this exact page, but you'd more be adding this information into your website itself. So these are like placeholders for, and it will add it on, but for the meantime, we'll skip that. So quickly breeze through this. It'll ask you then to pick a theme that you want. There's 6 different options there, as you can see, but these options won't be the same as the ones I'm getting. It'll be more different to yours, from what I've noticed. So if you just go ahead and click on one, if you like one, or you could choose to skip if you don't like them. It'll then prepare or create 3 homepage designs as stated. So since we said beauty products, it gave the nearest and closest images and content information for the website. So as you can see, hi, where, brand name gives an about us with the pharmaceutical background, and even a contact form with a location. And you can see it is fairly basic, but it does give you everything that you would need for the website. So that's pretty good. Once you are happy enough with the layout or homepage design, you could just go ahead and click on one. It'll mark a blue tick on the top right there, and you can choose next. So we'll not do that, as we are going to be showing you the different templates available on Wix. So I'll now head back and I'll show you the Wix Editor. Okay, so now we'll look into the Wix Editor. So we'll go ahead and start now. So as you can see, there's a lot more that the actual Wix Editor provides. I'm a bit biased as I use this a lot, but once you search up pharmacy, there's quite a few templates that Wix provides for you. Drugstore, wellness store, medical clinic, and a couple of those as well, or 3 of those. A medical testing center, dentist. So it's pretty much trying to specify for what you need to build your website. And as you can see, for this one, for the pharmacy, it's more to do with an actual non-ecommerce site to provide for that. This is the only e-commerce site from what I can see, which is the wellness store. So we'll go ahead and view this and we'll have a look at it. And I'll show you the differences. So from here, you can see that there's a login bar and a carts area. So that's meaning that means straight away, if there's a cart, you'll be able to shop within this. So it even has a drop down there. So if I click on skin and hair, these are where the products are. And as you can see, they've got a couple of different ones here. And holistic remedies, there's a couple of ones there. And if I add that to cart, it adds that straight to the cart. I can view that as well by the looks of it. And then I'm able to check out. And that's the pop-up right now. That's mainly because Wix uses premium plans, so you're not able to. That's one downfall about this, is that you can't test it out. Of course, there's a catch to this. The premium plan is required in order to actually have a selling website, or a selling platform website. And we'll explore more of the website here from what they've got. So we were able to go back home. As you can see, they've got their hero section here with a shop now, and they're mainly just leaning you towards to shopping in the website. They've even got their own mailing list by the looks of it. So we'll see if we can subscribe there. And then that'll submit that. So that's pretty cool. And they've even got some contact information on the footer. And they've even got a chat box as well. There you go. So we're able to add a email on there. So and then let's see, and I'm able to submit. There you go. So that's pretty good. This would mainly be an actual person that would contact you or message you, depending on how the operator is, on how it's operating. And we can see that there's a mobile optimization area for this as well. So they've got a hamburger menu with a login. So this is here's an e-commerce site there. So that's pretty nice. So if we click off this and go back, so let's see, they've got a couple of more options there. Here's another e-commerce site, so we'll have a view at this one. So in comparison with the other one, the wellness one, the only difference towards this is the actual site design itself. And by the looks of things, it also has a free delivery on all orders over $50. So it looks like they've got like a background limitation on it, but we'll look into this later on. So they've got a shop now area where you can buy masks, you can buy sanitizer, or you can get some oils. Let's see. So we've got same day delivery, contactless pickup, scheduled delivery. So there's some advertisement there as well. Some of the brands that they're showing you, and some contact details below. Again, we've got a chat box. So something like that. Okay. So that looks pretty good, and it also has a mobile optimization. As you can see from the difference straight away with Editor X, we only have optimization between desktop and the mobile version. So there is a couple of limitations to the different platforms here. So that's what this website looks. It's fairly basic enough. They've got a home page, a shop, and an about with a login area, and they've also got their cart page. Okay, so now that we've covered the e-commerce side of it, we'll go ahead and look at the different areas before we explore the non-e-commerce site. So when you do reach Wix, there's a far few amount of templates that you can choose from. It's pretty much endless. You'll be here all day if you're going to be looking. So there's a couple of the different ones that we could choose from if we wanted to look into the pharmaceutical side of creating a website. So if I click on the health and wellness one, there's a few of the non-e-commerce websites there, as you can see, and mainly to do with fitness and health, of course. So there's a few of those there, and there's a dental one there, as you can see. And then if we go back to the business and services, of course they've got their own like beauty and hair, fashion style. There's ones there for restaurants and food, travel, tourism, professional CV. So that would be a non-e-commerce website, or just a regular website, and that would be a personal use website. And then you've got restaurants as well, and these are, as well as I could say, a mixture of e-commerce and non-e-commerce websites for restaurants and food. We'll go and have a peek at it as well, just to see if that is right. So here's one here, Poke restaurant. So if we go to view, I am sorry if I butchered that name, but let's have a look at this. So we've got a order online area, and this, okay, as you can see, from this, it'll be asking you to order the food. So if I clicked on this, any special request, and then you would add that to order, you would view the cart, and as you could see, I'm able to add more or reduce them, and I can continue to check out and pay for it using the payments. So ASAP pickup time, yes. Of course, you would give your contact information. So tree, and then we'll just say profile, and then tree, then our phone number and our email address, port ProfileTree.com. And then it'll ask you for payments, and of course, since the payments isn't activated, I will later show you the payments, but ideally it would have PayPal, it would have cash on hand. You could do cash on hand if you wanted to, or the bank transfer, or bank one. So just depending on how you want to build your site. Of course, there's mobile optimization as well, which is perfect. You would want to have mobile optimization for a website like this, especially since more of the users will be using a mobile device to be ordering their food. So there you go. We've got a few dishes as well. They've even got a pickup as well for the time. I'm sure you'd be able to tamper around with this and change this up if you were creating an actual website for it. They've got their footer there, as you could see. So it's a, all in all, very, very well built website design. So it's got a mixture of, as you could see, a blended in header and hero section area. And we've also got this area here for where, so this would mainly be like the introduction to the website. And they've got their different like food here, another area there, and they've also got like a pinned socials here. So a very, very well laid out website from what we can see from a standpoint view. So now if we go back and we compare this website to another one, so we view the different templates that you can use. So that's all on use and what you want to do. Of course, this one's a CBD one, right? I'll later show you the payment options for this one. I think there are some like prohibited sort of websites, especially if you are dealing with websites more into this. So we've got creative ones, as you could see. So non-ecommerce sites from there, maybe possibly e-commerce sites, especially if they're selling tickets or selling individual copies of music. Debatable on this one as well. For graphic and web design, you could be purchasing a service rather than an actual physical product or digital product. That's one thing I didn't actually say, is that with graphic designers, so say that you have a graphic designer and you want to hire them. So here's one here, UI UX designer probably. There you go, UI UX designer and web developer. You can go ahead and contact him and hire him, or you could probably do like bookings with him. So that's partially e-commerce, non-e-commerce site. So it's slightly, as I was saying, there isn't really a regular website. It is very, very different towards other sites. So now that we've actually played about with some of the sites here, we'll jump into one of the sites that they've created for the non-e-commerce website. So the one that I wanted to see there, we'll go back to the business and we'll actually search up the pharmacy. Let's see. And here's one here, which is WeSmile, and that's a dentist. Okay. So we'll go ahead and view it. And as you can see, they've got a login bar, and this one has a book online. Now, this isn't an e-commerce site, but it is more of an e-commerce site than a non-e-commerce. It's mainly for the fact that this one has a book now area. So if I book this in, I'm not too sure if it's going to be asking me. So it'll ask me for date and time, and if I said 28 at around 2:30, that's what it would be saying. February 28th, 2023 at 2:30 p.m. And it would be this doctor here, and at 250 for an hour and 20 minutes. So if I click next, and we'll check this out now. So it looks to be where we would have to add our contact information. So and then of course your phone number, and then a message that you can add in if you wanted to as well, and then you would pay now. So it looks like that this is an e-commerce website. At times this can be changed. So what I'll actually do, I'll go ahead and show you a couple more non-e-commerce websites. That was a little bit of a bad example. So if I go ahead and, yes, I'll click on this one. So this is the Tom Dixon MD. Okay. Medical school. Okay, so they've got some options here. So blood work, physical exams, mental health, flu shot, prevention and wellness, or family planning. So if we pick family and planning, hopefully. Okay, so it's the same thing as well for the payment. So you have to pay now. Let's see if we can try to find one without having to pay, but where you can book. If not, I will have to show you what I'm meaning. Okay, we'll have a look at the medical clinic, see if this is any different. Okay, so as you can see, this one here is a non-e-commerce website. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping it's a non-e-commerce website. So yes, it's more to do with information and contact. By the looks of it, yes, it is. And of course you can log in as well. So that's a non-e-commerce website. That's an example of a non-e-commerce or regular website. But yes, what we'll do is I'll go ahead and go into this website here. So I'll just use this template, and we'll have a look at what we can modify for this site. So I'll be right back once it's loaded in. Okay, so once the site's loaded in, we've got our login bar there, book an appointment. So what I want to go through straight away is the actual payment plan. So we'll go ahead and save this site first, of course. We'll save that as my site 22 for the meantime. So what I will do is I'll go on to site, and then I'm going to go into my dashboard. Okay, we'll just wait on this to load up, and we will explore pretty much just some of the services that they have. So we've got the booking services here, and let's see what they've got going on. Okay, so these are some of the ones that we've seen earlier on. So dental fillings, appointment, £250. You can edit this out. So this is what I was meaning, where you can book without paying. So here's one with a per session, or with a plan, or per session, or with a plan. And then what you could choose to do is you could run that as free, so it'll be displayed as free, so you could book that and that'll be free. So that would not really count as an e-commerce website, if you understand what I'm saying there. But of course, if you start offering a price So just say that was £250 or $250 entire amount online, or you could do entire amount either online or in person. So that's just dependent on you. And what we could do as well is that you could do online deposit and the rest in person. So that's on yourselves as well. What I do want to show you here is, let's see if I could try to find the payment options. Okay, so as you seen earlier on, it wasn't available for payment. So if we go ahead and click on the payment options, now this is where it gets pretty handy. They've got accept credit or debit cards with Wix, so that's recommended, of course. You can connect that. And then there's PayPal as well, and manual payments. So let's say a manual payment, we could do cash payment. So they will see, okay. So we'll just say cash. So you can connect that. So as you've seen on the top right there, if we go ahead and manage this payment method has no fees. So that means that Wix doesn't have a right, of course, to take a portion of the money. So that's the service that you'll be paying for. And then you can connect this as well. So as I was on about with the CBD earlier on, it's learn more about selling CBD on your website. So these are mainly like restrictions that Wix can't do. I think it's just to make sure that we can connect the right provider, review the restricted list, and answer the question below. So that's pretty much just that. If I said yes, I do, so connect another provider. So let's just say I did sell CBD products within the pharmaceutical area. Then Wix cannot process payments for CBD. Choose from the providers below. If none are listed, you cannot sell products or services through Wix. So these are the provider basically means for this. So manual payment. So let's just have a look at what they can connect. So Bankful. Let's just say, okay, so account information, ProfileTree, PT. But if you do have, of course, the right details there, you can connect them in. Yes, leave. What we'll do for the meantime, see more payment options. Let's go back to the payments there. So here's another area for the e-commerce settings as well. So privacy policies, return policies, things like that. I want to go back to the payment plan first. Set up the payment methods just so I could show you. So of course, if there are things like that, so that you'll not be able to pay, so you could just do the manual payment. But of course, there are other ones that you can accept. So pay, save cash. It's by Skrill, ISX Pay, Bankful, Crypto by Bankful. Okay. So once you have placed all your payment plans, so just say that PayPal was there, then you have your bank transfers as well. So once that's all connected, you can go ahead and upgrade your plan. So we'll start looking at the plans within Wix. So since this is an e-commerce website, you would have to select the business and e-commerce plans. And these come with secure online payments, plans and recurring payments, customer accounts, custom domain, free domain for a year. So that's a very, very good plus for Wix there. Wix ads remove bandwidth, storage space, all the way down to customer care. Now, you get a couple of options here. So you've got Business VIP, Business Unlimited, or Business Basic. So that's primarily up to you at this point now on what you would want to pick. But as you can see, the most popular is the Business Unlimited, and it's got all of these ticked. As well as that, it's unlimited with 35 gig and 10 hours. So it looks like the difference here is the storage space, video hours, lead capture forms, and fields per form. So that's the only difference that you're getting. Of course, this would probably be more suited towards a pharmaceutical plan. You can have a business basic, and this would mainly do you as well for an online store, let's just say, because you don't really need much video hours and primarily the storage space as well. So once you've selected and picked a plan, it'll give you a billing cycle, and this billing cycle is within 3, 2 years, or yearly or monthly, as you can see there. So that'll be asking you, if there's one there for £15 for 36 months, or £16.50 for 24 months, and there's one there for £20 for 12 months, and £23 every month. So once you have clicked on one, you can continue that to the checkout, of course, and then that would be leading on to the fact that that is £20 for 12 months, 240. You can enter a promo code if it's available, so that's 240 per month. Now, what I want to show here next is the actual domain. So if we just go back, we would have to connect a custom domain. So just say that this is, what is the name of the site? WeSmile. Okay, so we'll just say WeSmile.com. Let's just have a look at this and see if the domain is available. We'll just wait for that to load. So it's taken, of course. Let's just try .co.uk. It's probably taken as well. Okay. Let's just say WeSmile online. So it'll ask you this here. So it says upgrade and get WeSmiles online for free. So you can also choose to buy it as well. And let me just get a domain, the actual screen up here for you. And here you are. So WeSmiles will soon be yours. And there's the sort of subscription for that one, which is 1 year is £25 a month, 2 years £24.30, and 3 years is £23.63 per year. So it all bumps up in price, and of course the longer you have it, that's how much you're paying. If it's around that price anyway, you may as well just go for the cheapest one, or the most one there, which is 3 years. If you tend to keep that domain for as long as you want, or if you want to just trial it out, go for the trial, certainly. So if we go back, you can upgrade now, and that's when you will start looking at the purchase plans again. So we've looked at the e-commerce side of the plan. We'll just quickly go through the non-e-commerce side, and this will be what's great about this is you get a 14-day money-back guarantee from all premium plans, and with this one here, you could connect the domain for £4, which is great. But the only thing is that this plan displays Wix ads, and it's 1 gig for bandwidth and 500 for storage space, which I think isn't really the best for £4 a month. I would more recommend the £7.50, because that gives you enough for 2 gig, 3 gig, 30 minutes of video hours. At least you get that, and lead capture forms with field forms as well. And it removes the Wix ads, and you also have the domain for a year. With this one, you'll have to pay for that domain by the looks of it. So yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown on the e-commerce and non-e-commerce. And hopefully I've ran through all the different website examples there for you guys. I do hope it has helped, especially if it's just use this guide as well, just to get you around the place, and hopefully that sort of sorts you out. But yes, if you guys have any questions at all regarding the video, just leave them out in the comments section below. But other than that, I'll see you for the next one. Thank you very much.